Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk, the video on the channel if you're new here, which I doubt you are because most new Sabre fans aren't coming to watch Sabre videos. Anyway, we just discussed random Sabres talk on this video. Well, look, I'll give a recap of what I seen, what I thought about the game. I like the fact they battled back in the game. And then it almost felt like, to me, okay, once we tied the game, they looked around and said, well, what do we do now? That's kind of how it felt to me. That's just what I seen. That's in a nutshell. I think we killed our goal. I think Lyon, the minute we gave Lyon a rest weeks ago, he's just hasn't been the same goalie since, I think. That's one thing I want to say. He's still good, but he was on another level earlier in the year. And then Lindy decided resting him was a good idea, and that backfired. It just backfired. These are professional athletes. You can throw them in 60 games a year, Lindy. They're not wusses, you know? But anyway, that's not what this video is about. I want to talk a little bit about what I seen at the end. I want to mention this. What I seen at the end actually made me happy, believe it or not. When we let in that late goal, when UPL let in that late goal, and they made it 5-3, Rosen's reaction, he showed some emotion. Angry as hell, we're about to lose another game. You could see it, the way he slammed the puck, if you watch the replay. I pick up on little things like this. And then when they got the empty netter, Josh Doan did the same thing. He smacked the puck into the board. So we got, you know what? This should be Tuck acting like this. This should be Tage acting like this. And instead, it's Rosen and Doan that are showing the emotion that we need to see from players who just think this is intolerable, that we find ourselves having lost 5 straight now, you know? Let's face it, guys. What if we didn't win that shootout? You know, what would the record be right now? You know, it'd be like 7, what would it be? It'd be 8 losses in a row, right? Yeah. Yeah, 1-3-3, I'm pretty sure we would be. I think we're 1-4-3 now, the last 8, I believe. Yeah. We'd be in an 8-game winless streak, really, in my books, because of the regulation. But we've lost 4 regulation games in a row now. And to me, that's as serious as it gets. It's to the point, before we were losing but getting points, remember? But now, we're getting no points. And we're going to have to figure out this franchise. We can't just sit back, which is probably what most of us think they're going to do, right? How can they live with themselves doing nothing right now? This is my question, guys. How can we have a franchise that's going through this, and there's not constant action of a revolving door at least happening with coaches and GMs? At least that. People are laughing before saying we've had this many GMs. Well, yeah, because we kept bringing in doorknobs, folks. So you got to get rid of them. So this is what I'm thinking, you know, we got to do it again. There has to be another revolving door scenario where we got to bring in some new visions, man, on this team. I felt like this when they were 0-3, okay? I felt like this, but it was early, and I knew it was early. But 20% of the season's gone, and here we are to square one again. And the Sabres remind me of people that don't want to work and think money's just going to fall out of the sky. Then they wonder why they're struggling, because they don't want to put effort into their lives of making money, let's say, you know? And just kind of what's going on right now. Like, I really, I feel bad for the fans, you know? I feel bad for the fans. The young fans especially, guys, that are 20 and under right now. Even you guys that are 22, 23, like, you know, you were little kids when you seen Danny Briere and Chris Drury, and now you're seeing this, the worst era in our history. And it's not fair, especially the fans that are, actually no, because we're coming up to the 20th anniversary. What am I saying? No, I'm wrong about that. My God. So our fans that are, let's say, 25, 26, even 27 years old, have very faint memories of success of this team. I mean, they might have been kids, you know, watching Drury and Briere back in that heyday of that era. A short-lived era, unfortunately. But, so that was 20 years ago, right? 2019 if you count 07. The 06-07 season. So, 19 years ago. So let's say, 25 and under don't have big memories. They just don't. And that's sad, folks. That's really sad. That our fans that are, a lot of them 30 and under, just didn't get to have, like, I can't imagine some of our fans that were young going through elementary and high school not having got to see a playoff game. Isn't it weird if you think of it that way? Maybe I'm over dramatizing it, but it's weird. It's weird what we've had to endure as a Sabres fan. It's, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Do I love the team? Yes. Have I been a fan? Will I ever change? No, of course not. I'll always be a fan of this team. I don't care if we never make the playoffs again the rest of my life. I'll admit that. But for the sake of what's holy in this life, comes a time where I don't get how Kevin Adams can look in the mirror and say, I know what I'm doing at this point. I do believe Adams did his job, folks. The first, first 4 years, 3 years. Because he inherited a disaster. He had to turn the ship around, which he did. But he let Granato get away with a team that wasn't physical for years. And what happened with that? We hit an iceberg and we sunk. Which was going to happen. I knew it. I mean, you can be a fan with half a brain and figure out, hey, man, we're throwing six hits in a game, 8 hits in a game, 10 hits in a game. We're ready to win the cup, you know? Come on. Even when they had the 90-point season, 91-point season, they would have got murdered in the playoffs anyway. They would have. I believe, okay? I believe you play playoff hockey for years before you win those cups. You play it for years. Sabres did. In certain eras, we can go back and look, and they always made us proud because they worked hard and they were physical. And they didn't chicken out to nobody back years ago. Now, you bring in a coach like Granato, and he really wanted a shot at coaching, and we gave him a good shot. But how could he? How could he think a non-physical team can succeed? Succeed enough to get in and have success over year. Like, I don't get how him and Adams had these. How could they not sit there? How could they talk? How could they have a conversation one day after a game where the Sabres might have thrown? There was one game, I remember, let's say they threw 4 hits one game years ago. How could they sit there, have a conversation talking about the passing game and special team, and this doesn't come up? I don't get it, guys. I just don't. I can't see it. If it's me, and I'm running this squad, I'm running this team, off season, first thing I'm looking for is muscle. First thing to put into this lineup. Because I'll tell you what, guys, star players like feeling protected. They like knowing those guys back there got their back. If these guys here cross-check me from behind, slash me in the knees, in the wrists, you're going to have to pay a price with these guys if you do that to me, just because I'm a good player. These are things we didn't address for years. And I do believe that these injuries are a ripple effect of softness that is catching up to us now. And the other game, I mean, what was the hits? I think we had like 14 hits or something. Guys, we haven't learned. Lindy hasn't learned. You've got to have a team. You know what? Paul Maurice is one hell of a coach. You will not play NHL hockey without being physical if that man's your coach. You will be a physical hockey player. You don't have a choice. That's why they have success over there. They have the talent and the aggression. Sabres lack aggression and attitude, folks. And I believe it always has been the issue. I don't believe it's a losing culture thing. Oh, we're losers. I don't believe in that crap. That's happening. We went through it already. That's not what's going on now. What's going on now is we have accepted at the higher levels of this team that being a soft hockey team is okay. And it's not. It's just not. So what are they going to do now? I don't know, guys. Your guess is as good as mine. I just don't know. I know what they need to do. And that's, they need a new coach and a new general manager. Not just a new general manager. They need to ship out Lindy too. They do. You know, they do. I would keep Lindy somewhere though in management, or, you know, if it was up to me, I'd put him as like president of hockey operations. He's earned that in Buffalo. He's earned that. He's not earned to be an older man now, having to deal with this disaster of a structure of a hockey club. It shouldn't be his responsibility. It just shouldn't be. He loves the team. He's always going to be a Buffalo man in his heart, no matter where he is and no matter what he's doing in the hockey world. Buffalo's always going to be his heart. It's always going to be where he is. So I think we should take care of him, you know. And as for Adams, well, he can work in the cafeteria or something. You know, they can figure that out. Whatever. I'm sure they'll keep him probably because, you know, he loves Pagula's like his hero. He has posters of him in his bedroom and all that stuff. So I think we just need new direction, and I'm hoping they do it. But it might not be a bad thing. I hate to say it if we lose tomorrow, guys, in Detroit. It might be a good thing for us. We might, you know, we might get some, because if we win, Adams is safe once again. You have to understand that. That's the price. I think Adams is this close to being fired. I don't think he's not going to get fired. He will get fired eventually. Pagula became a billionaire by being ruthless too. Come on. That's what I'm thinking, guys. So folks, I'm going to leave it there. I've talked long enough. I think we have to just see what happens tomorrow. Leave it there. Guys, if I do a post game, I'll see you then. Somebody's banging upstairs. I'm going to call it a night. Have a good one.